Welcome everybody. The purpose of this short video is to give you some tips on how you can get better control over the formatting of your blog, and in particular the timeline that you're trying to create, your family history. So one of the challenging things about Blackboard is that it is a little bit hard to manage formatting. So one of the tips I would advise you to do is to use tables to organize and control the formatting. So what we're going to do is, I'm just going to walk you through what would be involved in creating a possible sort of layout for a timeline. So with Blackboard, one of the first things I generally do, I can make my little display window there larger, so I've got more screen to view what's going on. Then we're going to use tables to organize our timeline, and the table tool is just that icon there. So if you click on the table, then you get the settings for the table. So this is a little bit like Microsoft Word. So in this case, what we're going to do is create a 3-column table, and I'll leave it as 2 rows. What I want to do is add 3 for cell padding, and that's 3 pixels. So that's a small little measurement that we use on computer screens, a pixel. And the cell padding, spacing, sorry, we'll leave as it is. And the width, this is important as well, and we'll use a width of 90%. That's really important. So you need to make sure you've got the percentage sign after it. So what we're saying here now is that we want the table to be 90% of the window, and also we don't want to display a border. Okay, so I've got those set, then I'll click insert. So what you can see here now is that you get dotted lines that represent your table. In the first column we're going to put our date, so we'll say 1950, and what I want to do is reduce the size of that column. So I right click and say cell and then table properties. Again, we get these options, and I want to make that 100 pixels. It's really important that you put the PX after it, and click update. So you can see that's made our cells smaller. Next we're going to add our image, and we're going to browse to our image. So our image will be on my desktop in this case, so I've just got a photo that I got from the internet. Okay, and once you've selected the file, click insert. You'll get a warning message here, that's fine, click OK. And you'll notice, for me anyway, that depending on the size of your image, it's quite large. So what I want to do is reduce the size of the image, and you can do that by putting your cursor over the little square at the bottom, and you'll notice the cursor turns to an arrow. So when I navigate there, you'll see it turns to a little arrow. So I press the mouse down, at the same time I hold shift and drag diagonally towards the center, and what that does is make sure that it reduces the image size in the right proportions. So we don't want to squash or distort our image at all. So I'll reduce the size to what I think will look good on screen. Next we want to then again change the width of that cell, and we're going to call this one, we'll set this to be 300 pixels wide, and we say update. So you can see here now what's happened is that we've got our date, we've got our image, and now we just want to put in our description. So I'm just going to jump into Word. What I'll do is I'll select the text and I say copy, and I move into Blackboard and I press Control V, which is paste. Now sometimes when you copy things from Word to Blackboard, you get horrible formatting. So the thing that I always do is I select all the text, and then I go up to this little rubber icon, and that removes all the formatting. And then what I do is add any formatting I want using the controls that Blackboard provides. And that's a little trick to make sure that all your formatting comes out consistently. So once I've done that, I've got my three columns. I've got my text, my image, and my date. We're ready to go. So we just click post entry, waiting for this to update, and you can see there now that we've got our nice formatted start of our timeline with our date, our image, and our text. If you have any other questions for formatting, how do you go about formatting the blog, just send me an email. My name's Andrew Yardy at newcastle.edu.au. Thank you.